Hey everybody, once again it's Shanghai right back at you, and this is going to be about me building my own PC. Now, over the years, I've had a background in computer technology. I have a certification in computer networking and things like that, and I generally know how to build my own computer. But for the past, I don't know how long, I haven't really felt like doing it. No, my computer that I had is a decent one. It's not a good gaming rig, and I always felt to myself that if I wanted to and when I wanted to, I would build my own computer. So now is that time. But as I was doing this, I started to notice that it was pretty difficult to know what you wanted and pretty difficult to find what you wanted. I mean, not in terms of actually getting or finding the parts, because they're everywhere. You can go to Amazon. I live next to a micro center, so there's a micro center. There's plenty of places to go, but the problem is, you're not really sure on what to get or what to buy or what fits into your things. Now, one of the most important things I would have to say is research. Research, 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 research. Let's see. Forgive my chicken scratch, but I write down all the pieces I need. I go research. You go on YouTube. You go ask other YouTubers. There's a lot of them out there who specifically deal with computer parts, computer chassis, everything. Like, you can find just about reviews and talking points about any part that you would need on a computer. So that's really one of the most important parts, to actually find what you're looking for. Find the parts you're looking for, find the prices, find that all out before you even do anything, because a lot of times people buy stuff and not even realize that, it might not be good for your computer, or it might not match up what you need, or might not match up with the specs. So I already did the research, but for God's sakes, guys, if you're going to do anything, go look up the pieces, go look up what you want, go look up what you want the computer for. Because for me, I want my computer for gaming, play high-end games. I mean, I'm not really into old games like that. I mean, I love games, and I play just about any type of game. I play Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PC, Wii U. I got a 2DS. But I'm talking about more in terms of, like, I want to play a lot of modded games. I want to play Skyrim on a computer, which I've been playing with on my old rig. It's horrible, but the modding community for those games are ridiculous. Fallout New Vegas. I'm on to the Dragon Age series, Dragon Age 1, 2, and I guess it's Inquiry, the third one. But yeah, these are kind of games that I'm trying to get higher graphics on, maybe The Witcher 3, and for this gaming rig, that's what I'm building towards. But for future reference, that's what you want to do. You want to go, okay, I want to do this, so now my parts are gonna be, or my efforts and money is gonna go to the parts that actually help that out. Now, for me, I went ahead and bought a lot of the stuff already, so I'm going to go and go through some of the parts that I got, and just for your information, probably needs to go motherboard, CPU, chassis, of course, or the case, RAM, a hard drive, let's see, a graphics card, because you definitely want a graphics card for this high-end equipment, and a power supply, plus a DVD player, DVD burner, I would say, because there's no real need to not get like a DVD burner. Even if you wanted to, I have a regular HD DVD collection, but if you wanted to, maybe a Blu-ray drive, Blu-ray burner would be alright for you guys too. But yeah, I'm gonna go into some of the parts I have now. So, alright guys, well, this is some of the parts I have. A lot of the other parts I'm having are being shipped into me, so I don't have everything right now. As they come in, I will demonstrate how to kind of put them in. I've already had some of the stuff, so I've put them in already prior to this video. I didn't have my equipment, my video equipment at the time to actually set up for that video. So for right now, this is the Corsair CX500 power supply. It's actually a pretty good power supply. I got this on Amazon for $50. I mean, I went to places where it's like 70 or 70 and a rebate. It comes to around that much, $50 or 40, depending on that. But this is a pretty good one. It's the 80 plus bronze edition. Not bad hard drive. It should come, power supply. It should come with the power supply, power cable, some ties and some cords to put it into your machine, and these really nice braided power supply wires. I really like this. This is what we're going to be putting in this video. And I tell you right now, man, out of everything about building your own PC, it's very exciting. You know, you seem, you know, really happy that you get to make your own equipment, and it's not that hard. You know, it's always about the effort you put into doing it. When it comes to the CPU, I got a AMD FX 6300. I know by now, the black edition. I know by now a lot of people have, you know, there's like more expensive AMD, well, processors, CPUs, but you know, this is all about what you could call a budget build, because a lot of times, you know, a lot of people, they spend thousands of dollars to build their gaming rigs, and you can do that. It's, you know, it's very much up to you about what you want to do, you know, because that's another great thing about PCs. You can go as far as you want, or I wouldn't say as low as you want, because you definitely don't want as low as you can get, because if as low as you can get, you're definitely not going to get what you want out of like games on this rig, you know, or any rig that you want to do for games. You kind of want to go a little higher, but you know, it's really definitely up to you and how you're comfortable with your rig, and really how much you want to spend, because the spending is going to be the biggest part about it. You're going to find a good, you know, a good balance between not going broke and to have a system that you'd want to play with and that you'd have fun playing with, and not be want to be, you know, sad that you spent the money and you still can't get the performance that you want. But the AMD FX 6300 is a really good card. I've done a lot of research on it, and it should be right up my alley when it comes to this. Well, the next here is the motherboard, and I went with the Asus M5A 780L-M USB 3. Now this is a pretty budget motherboard. It's not bad though. Like, it has it enables for HDMI 3, and it has a lot of cool features like a power surge protector and a couple other really standard things. But it also is a pretty solid motherboard. I got this for $70. I think you could pretty much go and find it for maybe $50 if you can find a place that gives it to you that way. But it's a really good one. It comes with a lot of decent features, and I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely felt like if you're gonna go for a game, you go for above low average motherboard. But this is the one I got. So yeah, let's see. Oh, that's right. And one of the most important things, because you can't hold it all in your hand, is I got the yeah, sorry, let me pan out for this one. I have the Knights' Source 210 classic tower. It's pretty sweet. It comes with, this is the standard one. This isn't the special edition one, because I believe the special edition one comes with multiple fans and stuff like that. But this one comes with one back fan, and it's a really good build, a really good case for. I got it for like 30-some bucks, so it's a really big case, really good case. It comes with HDMI 3. There's two ports in the back, two HDMI ports in the front, and there's a couple in the back. Well, you know, it depends on, you know, the motherboard you have. My motherboard came with three or four HDMI cables in the back, ports in the back. So it has like 6. So it's basically standard. Let me open this up and show you kind of the stuff where I put in the motherboard and the CPU and stuff like that, and we can get on to doing the power supply. Okay, guys. Well, this is the case outside the box. It's pretty nice. Like I said, it has a nice finish on the front. I already, like I said, some of the parts I had already put in, and I'll show you those as I'm putting in the other one. This is a Samsung Super Right Master, whatever that means. Super Right Master DVD player burner, and I got that for like 17 bucks. The DVD really is for the installation of, you know, the drivers, and also, you know, the let's say the operating system, because after everything's put together, you definitely need to put an operating system in here. Hopefully you already got one. For me, that's something else I have to go buy. But yeah, so we're going to open this up and give you a little show of the actual where everything actually is. This one has 2 thumb screws, but I tied them in pretty decently, so you're gonna have to get a good old-fashioned screwdriver and unscrew it for a little bit. Always make sure you keep your screws somewhere safe that you can actually get to them and put it back, because there's nothing worse than having screws and you lose them and something goes loose. So it's horrible. It's happened to me and I don't like it. So as we open it, you just slide it to the side, and if you can see it, it's pretty nice in the inside. I've already put in the motherboard. If you can see right here, this is the fan, the heatsink fan. Now the fact of the matter is, for putting a heatsink in, it's not that terribly difficult. There's usually a spot that you lift the arm up, and then you place the CPU down inside it. It's the pin system for the ADA MAD CPU unit I've got. It was a pin system, so you place it straight down, and you put the pin down, and you put the arm down, and that's basically done. But basically, you put the fan on top of that. But here's the placement of the motherboard. You always got to make sure that the placement of the motherboard matches up with the setup in the background for all of your connections, because everyone's seen a computer, and everyone knows that the connection points for your, let's say, your mouse or all that stuff is definitely not going to be over here. It's going to be in the open slot where that is. You'd ask why there's no cover here. I couldn't really put that on, and I'm not an expert at this, you know. I've worked on them. I've had certain certifications, but in terms of how to put everything in, I'm not the end all be all. So, you know, this is going to be a video for people who are starting up, and if you don't, you know, if you're still not sure about how to do it, definitely go look for more people to help you, because computers in general, it's not a secret society. You can definitely figure it out if you do enough research. But another important thing about the motherboard, it never wants to be sitting flat on top of the case, like on the side of the case. There's little bezels that you put in that raise the motherboard above the actual panel of this computer, this case, so that if, you know, it gets you get an electric shock, or you touch it and it gives a little spark, you know, with your own static electricity, you're not shorting out the motherboard. Now that's something is huge in this whole thing. Now I don't have one, but you should try to get a static strip, which is like a little wristband you put on your wrist and connect it to the case. You're grounded that way, so nothing you touch on this computer will get fried by you touching it. Now the thing is, if you don't get one, the best thing to do is to ground yourself. Like if you notice right now, my top hand is on the case, so I can touch inside here and it's fine because my hand is grounding my body from this thing. If you took a look at the floor that I'm on, it's a cement floor. There's not much way for me to make static electricity, so I'm pretty grounded right now. But the most important part about that is stay grounded. You don't want to burn your stuff out before you even get a chance to, try it out. Now, the case that I have came with the power wires for the motherboard. This is another important thing. You must look at the directions. Let's see. My case came with a manual and these are the little bezels I was talking about. So you keep the motherboard off the thing. You put that into the case. You lay the motherboard on top of that, and then you screws into the motherboard through this. Now, like I said, don't be afraid to look at the directions and really dig into them, because this is the kind of stuff that is going to help you out the most. This is how you put in a power supply, and this is what we're going to do today. But the most important part is you reference it's the motherboard setup, how you put the motherboard on. These things are your lifesaver. No one's a genius off the rip, and no one can just figure it out unless they've done it multiple times or that they have the directions. And it's not a big deal looking at directions and try to get things right, because you want to get it right the first time, so you don't have to go to one of these places like Micro Center, Geek Squad, or anything like that to actually build a computer, because you don't need them per se. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But anyway, we have these slots for your hard drive. My hard drive's coming, but what you would do is this panel opens up from the bottom, and you would slide it in, or you could slide it in from this way. Now, the most important part about that is you make sure it's in a way that doesn't interfere with your power supply base or your other spots where your other stuff goes. But for right now, we got the wires coming in. Every wire, if on a good hard drive, good motherboard, will have the names of the places where things need to go. So see, it says right here USB 3. Over here it says HDMI interface. Like, those are things that will help you out, because like I said, it's not a you see where it goes, M5A7LL's motherboard. See, everything in there, usually they try to make it as straightforward, as idiot-proof as they can make it, because no one wants, to be too difficult for even a regular person to do. So, we got the hard drive, we got the, the CD-ROM drive here. You screw these in. I haven't screwed them in yet, just because I haven't finished the build yet, and I don't know if I want it in a different spot. You slide in, because there's little brackets here, as you can see. You slide them in, and you screw it in. That would be for the hard drive. But for right now, we're going to move on to the actual power supply. Alright guys, well, this is the power supply. Like I said, it's the Corsair CX500, 500 watt power supply. Like I say, you see the this is the back of it. Has the power switch and a power cord port, basically. And the backside has these beautiful braided SATA cables. So that's pretty cool. Now, if you take a look in the back of your computer, or your tower, you'll see this big old hole. Well, the technical term, big old hole. But as you can see, it'll fit perfectly with the back of the power supply. Now, it's important to know when you have a power supply, almost all of them, which I would say not almost, all of them, have a big fan at the top. Now, if you'd actually have some common sense, which most people who have computers or will be making computers do, is that you would fit this part here to the back where we saw that hole. The technical term, big old hole. So, we place it in, and we look on the back to make sure it lines up. And what do you know? Look at that. Look how pretty that fucking is. Let's take a little closer fucking look. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how pretty that fits in there perfectly. And all you'd have to do, my hard drive, my case, because it's such a good case, came with the screws for putting in the power supply, but as well as the power supply itself came with them. So, I have like extra screws, which is always a good thing. You never want to not have a screw to do what you need to do. So, we put them in. Make sure you hold it in place. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. It's very nice. Feels good. Working with your hands, making something that you yourself will have fun with. You know, you have ownership of this. This is not, somebody's PC you bought in the store. Somebody didn't have to shuck and jive you to buy it, to make you buy it. You legitimately did it. You went out and you bought yourself a PC. And you went, this, my friend, is my PC. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Yeah, a little Full Metal Jacket reference. If you guys are too young for that. Make sure everything is perfectly set up. So, there's that. Power supply. Nice firm put in there. The motherboard, like I said up here, motherboard should reach out to the open port hole for the motherboard and stuff like that for your, let's say your keyboard and your mouse and your regular TV setup, not HDMI cable wire or anything like that. But there's all that set up. Now, when it comes to the power supply cables, that's a different story. You are going to have to, let's see, the toughest thing well, it's not very tough if you have all the literature. So, let's say, the motherboard manual, and well, you won't need the manual for the case, because this is now a point where you place the power connectors to where the power apply, where it needs power on the motherboard. Let's see. And really, that just takes reading and paying attention to where the wires are. So, get back to you. But in terms of how this goes, really, you look at the manual, and you make sure you match up the wire they say to the part of the hard drive or the motherboard that you need to put it on. So this is it for this video, but for next time we'll put in a hard drive, the graphics card, and the RAM to finish up this build. So Shanghai 20, YouTube.com. Come look me up. I got some stuff like this. Have some motherboards to put in. Also, I'll have game reviews. I'll have, with my new rig, game reviews. We'll have game walkthroughs. Might have some other stuff. Have some movie reviews. Some comic reviews, because I love comics. But we're going to get back into the swing of thing, guys. So stick with me. Subscribe. Like. Let's get it done.